Hey guys, it's Recon here, back at you with another video. So today I kind of wanted to talk about stat distribution and armor and how all that kind of works for your character and just what each stat does and what classes really utilize what stats. They all kind of can utilize stuff in different ways depending upon the builds that you want to do um, and all that. So we're kind of going to get into that. So on the right hand side here, you'll see we have 6 different stats. Okay. First of all, what I want you to do in your mind, take these first top 3 stats, bottom 3 stats here, separate. Top half, mobility, resilience, recovery. Bottom half, discipline, intellect, strength. Always remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind. You can also go put guys online in case you forget, but just remember that. It's very important. Each stat has its own uses and what it can do. For example, mobility increases movement speed and maximum jump height, which, this is an FYI, hunters utilize that for their class ability. Resilience increases how much damage you can take, increases agility capacity, and reduces the damage you take from certain combatants, and also reduces the amount of damage you take when you break out of stasis as well. It's also Titans. That for their class ability, like my barricade. Hunters, it's for their dodge. Titans for their barricade. Then we go to recovery. Recovery is Warlock's stat. Also, it increases the speed at which you regain lost health. So whenever you get shot and you get down to like red, it increases how fast that'll start regenerating. Right now, mine's pretty 9%. Kind of low. This is an FYI for resilience. Can I circle back on that? It is going to be 30% next season instead of 40. We do know that. That is a 100% confirmed thing. At least from, I think, the TWABs I read. So, FYI on that. Just be aware of that. It's very important. Go on the discipline. Increases the cooldown time of your grenades, allowing you to use them more often. So, anytime you want their grenade spam build, you want this at 100, use other exotics would kind of increase your stuff. We're not going to go into anything for builds on how to like increase and decrease and mid-max and all that. We'll save that for another video. I'll kind of show you some of the builds that I have, but I kind of want to wait till Lightfall for that just because I don't know what it's going to look like then. And with only a month left in the season, realistically, there's no reason to go. Intellect decreases the cooldown of your super, allowing you to use it more often. Stasis has a longer cooldown on the super, but theoretically, it just allows you to use your super more often. There's other ways to increase that, but we're not going to go into that. Strength decreases the cooldown time of your next melee ability, allowing you to use it more often. Again, just similar vein as the rest of them. The higher the stat is, the lower your cooldown is. Now, if you do notice something here, it's kind of lining up. So I have 5 bars on this for tier 5 in strength, right? They do it in tiers of 10. Every 10 points, you get an additional percentage rate on cooldown decreasement. I could word that a little better, but that's kind of how it works. So the higher your stat is, lower your cooldown. Now, one thing I do want to notate is if you want to focus armor specifically, I said top half and bottom half, this is very important. So, as a Titan, we're kind of lucky in a way because resilience is in our top half. Whereas discipline or strength would be in our bottom half. Now, if you wanted to go for a triple 100 build with recovery, resilience, the resilience, recovery, and discipline as an example, you would theoretically want to focus on the bottom half tier. So you want to focus discipline, because what that means is you would get a high piece stat armor gear with discipline, but then it has a higher chance for one, if not both of these, to be a higher stat roll for either resilience or recovery. Whereas if I focused in resilience, which is what I have on my ghost right now, I'm not going to really probably get much for recovery. I'm going to get something bigger as a bonus for these bottom 3 stats. And you can always slot that into your ghost at any point in time, any time throughout the season. You can do intellect, discipline, mobility, whatever you want to do. There's different and better ways to get armor. Currently for this season, as of this recording on February 3rd, 2023, you can still go to the helm and actually focus armor there. And it will be written with what your ghost mod is. So if you want resilience armor, you can get stuff like that. Now, one thing I want to notate when we go to armor here, if you notice, I have a bunch of little yellow borders around my armor. Okay, this is something just to kind of notate here. So for armor specifically, what you can do is you can upgrade your armor at any point in time, just while you're using it. Legendary pieces of gear go up to 68 for armor, for total stat distribution. Exotics go to 70. I believe that's correct. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But so like this piece of armor right here, because I had the resilience mod in and I was playing Iron Banner, I was able to get this a 24 resilience, 24 strength. So pretty good stat distribution. Could be a little better in the recovery department. But the one thing I want to notate is when you go to upgrade your armor, I can do it here. So you were going to upgrade your armor via here, right? This is how you get more energy in your armor, so you can enhance it with more mods. As you go up, it takes more legendary shards, more glimmer, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and it will also take one ascendant shard. Ascendant shards is what you get from high-end content from doing like Grandmaster Nightfalls, stuff like that. Resetting your vendors for the first time each season, something to notate. And then if there's this, I'm thinking they might still do this next season, but you can get double Nightfall rewards. Instead of getting 2 Ascendant shards per, Grandmaster Nightfall, you can get 4. So when we upgrade our piece of armor fully, if you noticed on the right-hand side here, our stats increased a lot on this armor. You automatically get 2 points in every single stat whenever you masterwork a piece of armor. So if you look here, because of that, I now have 106 resilience, 90 discipline, and now 54 strength instead of 52. This is important though, because now that we have this slotted, I can go in here and I can put, a mod in here to give me increased stat. Cool. I now have 100. I now have 100 discipline with no exotic. That I want to use. So now if I put on Heart of Endless Light, cool. I still have it. On that, don't have it. Well, why don't I have it anymore? Well, if we look, my discipline's only 4 on this stat piece, whereas intellect and strength are about around 18. So really, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you want to do. We're actually going to go to the helm real quick, though, because I would like to show this off, at least for, your armor distributions and stuff. But every class is different. Every build is different for what you're kind of going for. And at the end of the day, it's entirely up to whatever you want to use. I mean, I would argue that you should always do, at least your class ability, and then you should probably try to get a little bit of resilience, just because it's kind of nice to have. But like I said, Titans are kind of lucky just because they're like one of the main core stats, at least it's kind of good to have, is resilience. Whereas hunters, they have to do mobility, resilience, and then, one of these, whichever one they want to do, and that's kind of rough because they're going to have to start here and then try to get these two, right? So we're going to go ahead and go over here, and we're going to take off resilience armor. We're going to put on recovery armor just because it does take more energy per mod to actually slot that in as of now. That can completely change for next season, but you never know. So you have a recovery mod, minor recoveries, depending upon what they are. Minor, like +5 takes 1, +3 takes 10 for mobility. Minor recovery mod takes 2 for 5, and then it takes 4 energy for 10. So there's a lot of weirdness here. But I'm gonna go over here to the Season of the Helm, Season of the Risen, and we're just gonna focus a piece of armor. We're just gonna take oh gosh, let's see, what do we want to work on? Let's just go ahead, because my helmet's actually pretty solid. It's not that bad. Let's go ahead and work on our arms. Notice our arms are not looking too hot. We don't really have a good recovery on that. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take our arms. No slot. What we got? So we got a 66 stat roll with recovery and intellect. 30-28. Actually, not bad. Right, now let's see what happens if we don't slot anything in. We just do it normal. I have a rolling Grim's burn, so I'm not too worried about it right now. See, I have plenty. Now we're just going to take the same arms again. Do it there. Compare and contrast these. I see you still have high armor focusing, but if you noticed, it's not in recovery anymore. It just did 2 stats. This one also has a higher stat total. It has a 66. As a new player, when you get into the game, anything above like a 60 is okay. Just take it and go with it for now. But as you get more collections of armor, I would say anything that is a 65 or higher, keep. Anything that's a 60 or under, get rid of it. Unless it's like a really good stat piece that you're really going to keep, that you're going to use. Now, for arm or for class items, they're never going to get any higher than 22. That's the highest you're going to get on those because they can't get any higher. It's not possible. You can't focus them or slot them or anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and dismantle these because I don't actually, want that. But I am going to go ahead and reslot the recovery thing because I kind of do want that. We'll give it one more shot. Here, just kind of see what we get. As I can find it. My goodness. Alright, let's go back here. Do it one more time. We'll do our arms again. And let's see, what's our stat roll on this? 62. See, that one wasn't as good as the last one, but it has a slightly better stat distribution for whatever I might want. So if I am playing on a warlock and I don't really need that much resilience and I can just slot 10 into this piece for resilience right now, I could totally do that and that'd be okay. Because maybe you don't want 100 resilience. Maybe you want 20% damage, so you need 90. Maybe you want 10, so whatever. However you want to do your builds, it's entirely up to you. I'm not going to tell you, what's right and wrong, but you do want your class ability stat to be 100 in most cases. There's probably some cases where you probably don't want that, and it's really dependent upon if you even use your class ability that much. But again, that's entirely up to you. But hey, I hope this video helps you guys out as a new player getting into Destiny, prior to Lightfall launching here in, less than a month now. And stay safe out there, Guardians. Have a good day.